Hello, welcome to Hooli Invasion. You must have took a wrong turn or something. I don't know how you ended up here. Uh, I'm Sinclair. I'm one of the creators of Hooli Invasion. I'm a DM. I'm a player. You'll probably find me on Discord or Roll20 running or playing some games. Today, I just wanted to talk about what Hooli Invasion is and how to get started. So, Hooli Invasion is a TTRPG. If you like D&D, Monster of the Week, Call of Cthulhu, Cyberpunk Red, any of these games, then you'll probably also like Hooli Invasion. Hooli mixes both sci-fi and fantasy together. It's like if D&D and Cyberpunk had a baby, it'd probably come out looking a little bit like Hooli Invasion. So, there are 4 things we're going to go over. There's going to be classes, mentalities, RPG perks, and occupations. All of them are pretty simple, but we're going to go over them just so you know what they are and what you can even do in the game. So, first we're going to have war hands. War hands are the dominators of melee combat. They can tinker on their weapons. They have access to almost all martial arts. They have access to pretty much every single weapon. And they do a lot of damage. A whole lot of damage. If you like playing aggressively or being your party's main source of damage, then this is 100% for you. Second, we have Psycho Souls. Psycho Souls are psychics. They're psychics that can use their souls as fuel to do their moves and their passives and stuff like that. And what they can do is they can either turn their opponent's brain to goo, take away their senses, inflict them with every status known to man, or you can completely obliterate people's souls. You have access to stuff like telekinesis, pyrokinesis, hydrokinesis. When you later on, if you go down that route, you can control all matter itself and change matter states. If that's the type of thing that you're interested in, then Psycho Souls is for you. Third, we have Bionics. Now, Bionics are tech savvy. They can create weapons. They can destroy other people's weapons and then use the broken pieces to make more weapons. They can do whatever they can do pretty much whatever they want when it comes to technology. Hack stuff, stop themselves from getting hacked. If this is the type of thing that you're interested in, if you want to be like an engineer, like your team's blacksmith, then Bionics are for you. Then you have Savage Hearts. Savage Hearts are pretty much the exact opposite of a Bionic. In fact, one of the subclasses can't even use Bionic weapons. But they are super in tune with nature. So in tune with nature, in fact, that they can talk to animals. They can summon animals through portals to fight alongside them. They can even take the forms of animals and turn into kaiju. Imagine you're on a ship. Your ship gets attacked by a sea monster. You hop out of the ship, turn into a sea monster yourself, and punch the other sea monster in the face. Just the type of thing you can do as a Savage Heart. Doesn't matter if you can't use a bionic weapon if you can just be Godzilla, right? If this is the type of thing that you like, then Savage Hearts are for you. Lastly, we have Gene Freaks. Now, Gene Freaks are strange. They can be anything from a genetically gifted human to some strange eldritch horror chimeric beast. You can be born in a test tube. These are usually things that were like science experiments or complete freaks of nature. If you like the idea of being able to rely on your heritage and innate abilities to dominate any given fight, then Gene Freaks are for you. These are the type of things that you'll be able to do in Hooli Invasion. I think it's pretty fun. I'm biased, but you know. Next, we're going to go over mentalities. Now, mentalities is very important when making your character. Whenever you're going through your classes, you can have one primary class and one secondary class. Your primary class is going to affect your stats, and basically what moves and stuff you can start out with. And your secondary class is going to help you supplement that first primary class. Now, as you go through the game, what it takes to get stronger, strength in Hooli Invasion is pretty much based off of your moves and action economy. So if you have like a bunch of actions or a bunch of reactions or a whole bunch of moves, these are the type of things that make you really powerful. It doesn't, in most cases, having just a really big stat line isn't necessary for being powerful. In fact, some of the most powerful characters that I've seen in the game so far don't have particularly impressive stat lines. But you'll see there are 3 types of mentalities, and this is what you need to become stronger. A mentality is going to determine how many moves you can have and how quickly you can learn new techniques. So your talent is how quickly you learn, and your potential is how many moves you can have at any given time. So for example, let's say you wanted to learn Silver Tongue, and you didn't have the skill already. If you were gifted, you would have to roll. It'll be a difficulty set by the DM. You would have to roll and pass that many times. And if after you have it, then you just have that new skill. And whenever you use that skill, you will no longer need to roll in order to even do the skill. And then this is just how many you can have. So if you're gifted, you learn quickly, but you can't have that many moves. If you're a student, you don't learn nearly as quickly. In fact, it takes twice as long, but you can have twice as many moves. And if you're sensible, then you're somewhere in the middle, where you're just the average Joe. You don't need to be like these two if you don't want to be. But that's how you get stronger. That's how you learn new techniques. And these other things are necessary, but they're a little bit more niche. They don't come up too often unless you are in longer campaigns. So we'll talk about those in another video. Next, we are going to go over occupations. So occupation is exactly that. It's just a job. What are the jobs that you do? So normally you get to pick 2 of these. You can be like a pirate and also a mobster. You can be a techie and also an assassin, a biologist. These will also affect what kind of things you know. So say for example, you run into a gene freak and you're trying to understand his genetic makeup. Well, if you're not a biologist, you're probably not going to be able to figure that out. But yeah, these are the type of jobs that you have, and they'll dictate what your role within the campaign and how you roleplay it. Then you have RPG perks. RPG perks are just things you can do within the game, usually not in combat. So you have stuff like Silver Tongue, Gambler, Insight, Stealth, things that you are particularly good at. And you can always learn more of these by rolling and learning new skills using your mentality. But you get to start with 2 of these whenever you are making your character. And then I guess next we'll talk about skill trees. Not in this video, but another one. So get out there. Go do some fighting. Talk to your DM. See what you want to do out there. I appreciate you coming by.